with the most tremble as always. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a great weekend. So I am doing a review. Obviously, I'm doing a review today. I don't know why I'm telling you guys I'm doing a review. But I am doing a review today of a movie that I actually kind of blind bought last year with my sort of like Scream Factory haul and everything with some of my tax money and everything. I was one of those movies, one of those movies that I was kind of like, had been eyeing. I wanted to pick up a couple things that I had not seen before, but definitely wanted in my collection. Sounds weird, I know, whatever. But that movie is, if you couldn't tell what the title of this video is, Night of the Comet. Yes. So I know this is one of those movies that, like, has a good little fan base and everything, like almost like Die Hard sort of fan base in a way. I don't know if I should say Die Hard. We'll go with it though. But just basically, I feel like a lot of people don't know of this movie or are not aware of this movie or are aware of this movie but just never really took the time to actually check this movie out. This is actually a pretty fun little movie, little kind of like post-apocalyptic type of science fiction movie. Fun, terrific little movie, and I have to say, because I've watched this a few times since I've purchased it. I watched it earlier this week again for like maybe the third or fourth time, and I have to say, every time I watch this movie, I love the main character, the main female, Regina, I believe her name is, just because, especially for it being back in the day of mid-80s, what was this, 84, so year that I was born, so happy 34th birthday at Night of the Comet. I have to say, especially for, like, the time period when this came out and everything, to have a female, especially in, like, the main role, who's kind of into video games, very much kind of like a lot of us, especially us female horror fans or even gaming fans and stuff, she's into her movies and everything. Like, at one point, she works for a cinema, a theater. And, she's 18, she's always kind of, like, visiting, like, the little projector guy, who's, like, a fellow, high schooler or whatever. They're always kind of, like, going to the projection room to kind of fool around and everything. And I kind of like it because in one scene, she's, like, I forget exactly which movie they were talking about, but she was talking about a movie or something, or they were talking about Superman, that's what it was. And, just, she's kind of, like, thinking about it, and the guy could care less. He's like, why do you even care? Like, who cares if you can see through walls, or steel, or iron, or whatever it is? Like, who cares? Like, but it's so nice to see that, a female character like that, who is a pretty good representation of a lot of us female fans. So, like I said, for a movie that came out in '84, I think I just like to see that and everything. It's a good one to see. It's not like, oh, hey, like today, where I like seeing female characters like that are, very much, we can see ourselves in. But I feel like sometimes today it's kind of like, oh, we have to because, it's 2018, and there are obviously female fans. Like, this was doing it way before that. So, I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with modern movies doing that. I'm glad modern movies are doing that, but whatever. But yeah, basically what this is about is, so this town or the world's getting ready for this comet that's going to be coming through, and it's, a spectacle. It's like any time, some sort of, like, event like this happens, it's a little spectacle. Everyone's having their little barbecues and stuff, their little comet parties and everything. Little do they realize they should have all stayed inside, because pretty much anyone who is outside while this comet flies over is disintegrated into, what was it, calcium dust or something. It's little goofy things like that, but I feel little things like that where you're calling it calcium dust, it's their, like, bones, they were turned to dust. Little things like that, I kind of appreciate it, because it's almost like a nod to, like, the, 50s, 40s and 50s of those, like, sci-fi type of movies, like, something's gonna happen, like, ooh, comet came and we have like giant ants and stuff, like little things like that. And that's the other thing too, is that this movie is, I feel like this movie definitely is sort of like a nod to those science fiction movies of yesteryear and everything. I mean, it's done really good. It's a classic idea with a modern take on it. I like it. I love her sister and everything. Um, her little sister. I mean, typical kind of like high schooler cheerleader. Like, I remind me very much of my oldest niece when she was in high school, minus being a cheerleader. Just, I don't want to say ditzy, but just that kind of like, a little oblivious to the outside world and what's going on in the world and everything. She has like no idea. So like the next day, Regina comes home and stuff, and she realizes, okay, something's not right. Her sister, on the other hand, is trying to like make herself a bowl of cereal. It's like, I'm calling everyone on the spirit squad. No one's answering. I don't know if there's practice. And Regina's like, dude, open your eyes. Something's not right here. Something to do with that comet has totally like done something with everyone. Like, something is going on. I don't even know if there's anyone else in the world. We might be the last two people in the world. It is basically, I mean, it's a little bit of a slower movie, I feel, but it's a good one because it actually kind of tells the story. You're kind of like, oh man, dude. Especially if you like certain things, such as like, what is that? Will Smith movie? I think it was a remake. Like I Am Legend and stuff. Like certain things like that, where you're kind of like, there's really no one else in the cast. It's a very small cast, but you're like, what's going on? Little things like that. I mean, it's just a fun little one to see, like, if they are truly the only ones still, like, the only ones in the population around the world and stuff. But they do kind of, find, or I should say, these like scientists kind of find them and everything, who do not have the best of intentions. They're kind of more looking out for themselves and everything. So to kind of see them, I mean, they even like lie to Regina at one point. Spoiler! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Give you guys enough time to actually turn me off if you don't want spoilers. Spoilers. I don't know why I can't talk today. Whatever. But like they take Regina to a facility and stuff because they're like, oh, we gotta just run tests. Your sister can stay here. We'll come back for her or whatever. And one of the doctors who realizes like she's kind of being infected by this radiation and stuff, gives her sister like some sort of serum to make her like fall asleep. Little do the scientists know that she wasn't actually killed, but they tell Regina like, oh yeah, your sister's dead. And Regina's kind of like, I mean, obviously we find out, she didn't die or anything. She is safe. And they do meet this other guy who who is a trucker basically, and kind of is just like, what the hell's going on and everything. Wants to go see if his mother's okay. His mom's not okay. She's gone basically. Just so a lot of different things like that in this movie where you're just, it's kind of a little bit slower, but it's still very entertaining because you're kind of like, oh man, what's gonna happen? Ooh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So it's very good. It's a very good one. Like I said, I'm very a fan of kind of like, things like I Am Legend, where you're kind of like, oh man, it's like the end of the world type of things, mixed in with some of those like, 40s and 50s, or even 60s, maybe not necessarily 60s, but like 50s, like earlier science fiction type of movies. This is definitely excellent for you to check out. Definitely look at it, watch it, give it a try at least. Give it a try. But yeah, definitely, I'm so glad that I did actually end up buying this last year. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. Until next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.